One of the most overlooked yet profoundly damaging effects of a high-carbohydrate diet, especially one dominated by refined starches, is its ability to sabotage the body's natural hunger regulation. Many people assume that eating a plate of pasta, a bowl of rice, or a few slices of bread will leave them feeling full and satisfied. And for a short time, it often does. But that sensation is misleading and fleeting. What follows is what nutrition researchers call the rebound hunger effect, a cycle of rapidly rising and falling blood sugar that leaves you not only hungry again within a short window, but often hungrier than before. This isn't just a casual observation. It's a predictable physiological response driven by the way the body handles rapidly digestible carbohydrates. When you consume foods like white bread, crackers, sugary cereals, or white rice, the body converts those starches into glucose at an accelerated rate. Blood sugar spikes within minutes, causing a corresponding surge in insulin production. The insulin's job is to move that glucose out of the bloodstream and into the cells. But when the starches are too refined and the insulin response too aggressive, as is often the case with modern high-carb diets, blood sugar levels drop sharply afterward, sometimes below the baseline. That crash sends a powerful signal to the brain: you're hungry again, and fast. This rebound hunger effect does more than just make you reach for another snack. It disrupts the brain's hunger and satiety hormones, ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, rises sharply when blood sugar dips. Leptin, which tells your brain you've had enough, becomes blunted when insulin levels are chronically elevated. Over time, this hormonal dysregulation can leave your appetite in disarray, making it incredibly difficult to recognize real hunger from blood sugar-driven cravings. The result? You eat again, often reaching for more of the same fast-adjusting carbs that created the problem in the first place. This cycle of spiking and crashing doesn't just lead to mild overeating, it can drive compulsive behavior around food. People often report intense cravings an hour or two after a carb-heavy meal, especially for sweets or more refined starches. It's not about willpower or emotional eating. This is a physiological hijacking of the brain's reward pathways by unstable blood sugar and insulin imbalances. The repeated stimulation of these reward pathways by rapidly digested carbs can begin to mimic addiction-like behavior. The more you eat, the more you want, and the less satisfied you become. And let's not forget the impact on portion control. High-carb foods, particularly those low in fiber and protein, are less satiating per calorie. That means you often need to eat more of them to feel full in the moment, and even then, that fullness fades quickly. Compare a breakfast of white toast and jam with one of eggs and avocado. The carb-heavy breakfast will lead to hunger by mid-morning, while the fat and protein combo will sustain you for hours. But modern eating patterns have trained people to crave the former, not the latter, perpetuating cycles of overconsumption and energy crashes. This rebound hunger effect also plays a significant role in weight gain and obesity. People eating high-starch, low-fiber diets tend to consume significantly more calories over the course of a day, not because they're greedy, but because their bodies are never truly satisfied. The constant hunger leads to snacking between meals, late-night eating, and larger portion sizes, all while the body is in fat-storing mode due to chronically elevated insulin. Over time, this drives fat accumulation, especially around the abdomen, and worsens insulin resistance, further amplifying the problem. Even worse, many diet or low-fat foods are marketed as healthy while being filled with refined carbohydrates to compensate for the lack of fat. These include low-fat yogurts, granola bars, rice cakes, and meal replacement shakes, products that may seem light and wholesome, but in reality, send your blood sugar soaring and crashing. Consumers, misled by calorie counts or health claims, end up trapped in a metabolic loop of hunger, fatigue, and fat storage. The rebound hunger effect also contributes to emotional instability and mood swings. When blood sugar crashes, people often feel irritable, anxious, foggy-headed, or even depressed. Many mistake these symptoms for external stress, not realizing their food choices are at the core. And so the pattern repeats. A blood sugar crash leads to emotional discomfort, which leads to another high-carb snack for comfort, only to restart the metabolic roller coaster again. Over time, the hunger regulation system becomes desensitized. People lose touch with their true hunger cues and rely more on habitual eating times, cravings, or emotional states to determine when to eat. This metabolic confusion makes sustainable weight loss and long-term health nearly impossible. What may have started as an innocent love for pasta or pastries becomes a biochemical dependency that is difficult to reverse without significant dietary change. The good news is that breaking the cycle is possible, but it requires reducing or eliminating the refined starches that drive the problem in the first place. By prioritizing whole foods rich in protein, healthy fats, and fiber, like vegetables, legumes, nuts, eggs, and meats, you support stable blood sugar levels, reduce insulin spikes, and allow hunger and satiety signals to recalibrate. As this happens, you'll notice longer periods of satisfaction between meals, reduced cravings, and more control over your appetite. But as long as your diet is built around processed starches, the rebound hunger effect will continue to rule your eating habits, quietly undermining your health, energy, and ability to make lasting dietary change. This isn't just a small detail of nutrition science. It's a warning that modern high-carb diets are creating a nation of overfed yet constantly hungry individuals. And unless we break the cycle, the consequences, obesity, diabetes, metabolic disease, will only worsen.